Science Beetle.
Hello students, welcome back. This lesson what I want to do is introduce the topic of percent yield. And I don't want to do any real problems in this one. All I really want to do is introduce you to the equation so that you're familiar with it. And in the next couple of lessons we'll go ahead and do some problems. So percent yield, the way we can calculate this is I'm just going to use a very generic problem here. Is if I got A plus B going to form C. And so just so that we're aware of this, the percent yield is going to look mostly on the right-hand side of the equation, so the products. We're going to be looking at the product side. Okay? And the reason we're looking at the products is because when we look at percent yield, we're really at the very basic point that we're trying to get at here is how efficient was the reaction. And so the way we usually determine that is out of the total amount that you expect of a reaction to produce, what was the actual amount that was produced? And so usually you represent that as a fraction. And so I'll write that down here at the very bottom and call that. And so the fraction here is going to be actual divided by the theoretical. Some of you may have also heard of this as the part divided by the whole. And when you think about that, this number here is going to be a decimal when you actually go through it. But there's more to it than this. And so let me erase the part and the whole. And so essentially when you take the actual divided by the theoretical, this is going to result in a decimal. So what we usually do after this is we have to multiply it by 100. And the reason you multiply it by 100 is because what we're trying to achieve here is the actual percent yield. Okay? And so this is what we're after at the very end. Now keep in mind that depending on the type of problem that you get, you may be given perhaps maybe the actual and the percent yield, in which case you have to calculate the theoretical. Another possibility may be that you're given the theoretical and the percent yield, and you have to go and find how much you actually need of a particular reactant in order to complete this problem. Or you may be given the actual and information to calculate the theoretical, in which case you need to come and find the actual percent yield of the problem. So those are three different variations on how you can solve these particular problems. So in general, what we're doing here is dealing with the right side of the equation. On the product side, we do have to start on the left side, but eventually we need to use a ratio to bridge us to the other side. And when we do, then we can calculate based on what was actually expected from a reaction versus how much we actually achieved. And so yet again, another way that we can look at this is the actual could be how much we observe, and the theoretical could be how much is actually expected of a reaction. Multiply that by 100, and that will give you the percent yield. So I don't want to go into too much detail other than that, just to introduce it. In the next lesson, we're going to go ahead and do some problems. So look forward to those. They're coming right now, so look out for them, and we'll see you in the next lesson.